Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode. Starting off strong here in Bleak Falls. Draugr content, not too scary anymore. We do have to be careful not to tank too many hits unnecessarily. Space well, but as you can see, we are just with the third sunlight weapon perk. We are just really cooking these guys. 2 hits for the weak ones, and then a swing and a power attack for most everything else. So I didn't show it because we were just blazed through this Bleak Falls dungeon, just the last room, just so you can see my power. But we have died stupidly in these kinds of situations where we just tank a power attack from a Draugr with a Warhammer or something like that, so not completely riskless. We have put a bunch of level ups into health and damage resistance, which has kind of helped to offset the Meridia detriment, but still, it's quite dangerous to be tanking melee hits from undead. Always get freaked out by the one frost spell Draugr that's here, so that's why I'm opting for going for ranged spells. Oh, here he comes, my nemesis. When he's just by himself, it's not bad. It's when there's him and then he's got like a couple other dudes all coming at you at once. He'll slow you down and do damage to you and sap some of your stamina. And the other guys will beat your ass. But not this time. The only asses being beaten are the undead's asses. With my sunlight greatsword. And we can just zoom. It's pretty fun with all the movement speed absorption that you get with the two-handed sunlight weapons. You can really speed along. Gimme. Delicious insights. Y'all even get to see the nice little housekeeping we do. It's important to keep your dungeons clean. Don't want to have too many dead bodies laying around, so gotta clean that shit up. Leave it cleaner than you found it. That's the motto, right? Leave no trace, as Smokey the Bear would say. Moving on, we got our boss battle here. Oof, that's a lot of damage. It's not much of a fight, to be honest. It's a slaughter. That's Bleak Falls done. We can move on with the main quest. A good bit of insights for Bleak Falls. Normally I feel like I walk away from Bleak Falls with hardly any additional insights. We found a nice resist magic ring at Bellathor, which is important to get magic resist ring now because we're wearing our Galder amulet, so our magic resist necklace we can't rely on as much, so we have to find solutions for the ring slot. So here I'm finally toying with the idea of I don't really need more stamina, especially I had the Respite perk. I'm an Imperial, so this now on my odd levels I'm starting to go into magicka and spell power. Not like I need more magicka, but the extra spell power is going to be nice. Finally getting some more attack speed, especially now since I have fully perked out sunlight weapons, and I'm utilizing them a little bit more. It's very beneficial to have the additional attack speed from the greatsword perks.
Guardsman, what happened here? Where's this dragon? Quickly now!
Ginra, save us.
Here he comes again.
Here he comes. Find cover and make every arrow count.
The ever important healing poultice. I used to try and save these potions, but I've learned that it's just not worth. It's you'll always get more potions, or you can buy more potions. It's just more important, especially if it's your first dragon fight, just to make sure that you have enough resistances. We have Arcane Ward 3. We have Sunfire for range. And then I'm using my silver-lined Orcish katana that I made that has Urbanon's Scimitar enchantment augmented onto it. So we've got lots of solutions. And then I also have my Sunlight Greatsword for backup. As you can see, Sunfire is actually a pretty good solution for dragons. Because it ignores magic resist. Little PSA for dragon fights. When they're perched up like this, they cannot melee attack. They can only do their breath attack. So you are safe to go in and smack them up. As long as you're safe against their magic. There I actually walk into the Unrelenting Forest shop because I know I won't get knocked back and I have a chance to absorb some of it to get some more magicka. Playing it very safely. Not sure how much a bite is going to do. We only have 531 armor, so we're not... That's like essentially wearing like scaled armor or chainmail armor. Light armor. Except it's heavy armor. Just because it's a casting set. Plus Ingle. Helm of Ingle. Ingleberries. So yeah. Breath attack still does a good chunk to me. About a quarter. Ooh, you guys ass beat. That's what we're trying to avoid. But once we get enough stacks up on him, then we're healing up very nicely. So even if we do take a bite, we're pretty safe. Against dragons, there really is no risk. The main risk would be if dragon is just flying around, not landing, and I run out of magicka and I can't heal myself and just flying around and shooting, breathing on me, shouting at me. But as long as the dragon is landing intermittently and I have my Sunlight Greatsword out, I'm getting enough procs in to continually heal myself and do damage. It's no big deal. So now we're finally on to the equipment gathering part of the video that it's named for. First up, some armor. I love the choice that Lala made for the paladin armor. It looks so good. And soon it will be mine.
Fresh food. No wood rot on the furniture. Someone visited recently, but the people I asked say no one enters or leaves. Wait, did you hear that?
Little poultice. Gonna get our magic ready. Fortify health, fortify two-handed, and fortify magic. I think I'm planning on using the Sunlight Greatsword, so the fortify two-handed's not that big of a deal. But still, in case we need to quickly swap and do some physical damage, we'll have it as a choice. And the Atronach really helps as well. Even though I think his sword has a Dispel Daedra enchant. We'll see here. But it's good just to get the aggro off initially, while I can get some sunlight weapon procs on, get some health regen going, pop my potions, make sure he can't shout me down. We need to install the there's a fix that Lala has for the invisible weapons. I do install it once I take his greatsword because I realize that it's invisible. Yeah, see, it's got the Dispel Daedra enchant on it. But just like the dragons, it's a battle of attrition. We're pretty safe. We just don't want to tank too many hits in a row. But as long as we have our sunlight weapon procs on them, we are pretty safe. Just continually healing up. We have a lot of movement speed so that we can kite very effectively. Look at how much distance we get. Yeah. And we have unlimited stamina, essentially unlimited health, and we can kite like crazy with so much movement speed. So really, we got this in the bag. Easy peasy. And we get some really sick armor. I think I'll go over the effects here. And a greatsword. Really nice. So health 2, health 36 2. Magic regen's not important for this build, so we opt not to wear it. Restoration, cost reduction, and Magicka 2. Very nice. And I think the trait is 9% for full drip, but we end up just going for the Vigilant, just to get the extra cost reduction. The trait is 9% restoration spell cost reduction, and 7% for Vigilant, so that's, what, 34% just from armor traits, plus the 16% on our chest, and, what is it? On our gauntlets now, we also have spell cost reduction for restoration spells. So now I'm just checking out how much 11 healing aura costs 11. That's really nice. Almost hardly anything. And there we go. With the fixed model, we have our great Tyranus great sword. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Dispel Daedra, extra damage to undead, fear on low level undead. Very nice. And it's got a cool, like, red markings on it. So the next piece of equipment, Dawnbreaker, and become the champion of Meridia. But first we have to find the beacon. And for us, the beacon is inside Dead Man's Respite. Here we have a close call. Check this out. The dual spider jump. -1 surpassing. Very close call. I think I got down to like 30 or 40 health there, so gotta remain vigilant. Constant vigilance. You never know when something like that's gonna happen, where you essentially are tanking 2 spider power attacks. But here we just destroy this whole gauntlet, just because we do so much damage. I'm speedy. Look how speedy I am. Speedy boy. I got the moves. I got the moves. But still, just a regular Draugr with an axe does a third of my health with one swing. That's why you gotta be careful. We do a lot of damage, but it's very glass cannon-y, especially against undead. All these boss Draugr. Easy, easy, easy. Now we've died to this guy many times, especially on our shout builds. He's just tricky, man. Just tricky. The key for these guys, like Gathric, Olaf One Eye, the like real boss Draugr with a ton of health, is don't worry about doing power attacks, because a lot of times with Draugr, what you can do is you can stagger with power attacks very consistently, but for whatever reason, against these like high level boss Draugr, it's a lot less consistent. So how I've died is trying to go for the stagger, and normally I would get it, but instead of getting staggered, they do their walk-up power attack, and then I can't react in time. I think I've died multiple times to Olaf because of that, and other boss Draugr, like the Ghoul Smashers boss inside Ustengrav. Same thing. So here we get Meridia's bacon. In we go. Another interesting kind of dungeon because we do lots of damage, but we can't regenerate our magic on these guys because they go into like piles. Ash piles? No. Soul embers or whatever. What is it called? Ghostly remains. So we can't funerary write those. And we also don't break the bows, which is interesting. Normally we should be breaking bows with one swing, but here we do not. Because they just use hunting bows and Imperial bows. I think our power attacks break it. We'll have to see if I power attack. Just found that interesting, that they were breaking. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy two shots, but they do a lot of damage, especially the ranged shades. Because I have enough movement speed, especially since I'm using the Sunlight Greatsword, to be able to kite very effectively the melee ones, but the ranged ones were, especially like down when they're at the opposite end of a long hallway and they're able to just shoot me down. They can do some real damage. Never realized that the key for the chest outside was in here. I wonder if that's a new addition. Yeah, you see that? It's like 25% of my health per arrow. Oh my god. Just gotta remain on your toes. Keep it tight. Stay frosty. Yeah, no, power attack was not breaking the bows either. So maybe they have like a special unbreakable bow perk or something. Who knows? Which is fine. They should be a little bit more menacing. But it's interesting that I guess they keep a hunting bow and Imperial bow because they're supposed to be like the Civil War soldiers. So it makes more sense. But you would think if you wanted to have unbreakable bows, then you would give them unbreakable bows. But whatever. Checking out my undead killed. We're at 215. So not even halfway to where we need to be at 500 for the max magic resist scaling bonus for Meridia. But we're on our way. We'll get there eventually. If there's one thing this game has, is a lot of undead to kill. Vampires, Draugr, corrupted shades, skeletons, you name it. There's plenty. And we are on our way. I'm not too worried about the boss in this place. We can get enough magic resist, especially with potions. And we have enough frost resist. I don't know. I know he has an absorb spell, like an absorb essence maybe. The humanoid version does. But this should be a case of low and slow wins. Just slowly whittle down all the shades that are in the room and then get him by himself and knock him down. We'll see if that holds true. But first, a little leveling up. So we got restoration to 75. Now we're going to work on heavy armor to 80. Get the next combat heavy armor perk. Get the next casting perks and get the magic resist heavy armor perk. And very importantly, now we can get our expert restoration. We can get our funerary right too. Lots of choices. No, I'm sorry, not funerary right too. Powerful healing aura and arcane disjunction 2. Don't know why I didn't show. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Checking out the spell cost. Powerful healing. It's not bad. It's not bad. And the arcane disjunction 2 is going to help against dragons. Because it's pretty safe to fight dragons, but it just takes a while. I think I accidentally popped a magic resist potion there or something. Yeah. That's okay, we'll go fast. Yeah, this is kind of worst case scenario. There's like 4 or 5 archers at the end of this long hallway. I don't have heal self 4 yet, so I'm just relying on the powerful healing aura. But yeah, you don't want to risk it. It'd be a shame to die to a corrupted shade just because I played too fast and aggressive and get arrowed down. It's better that we can, once we can build up some procs. But man, jeez. Even watching this back, I get nervous. I can see how close it is. Like one more arrow shot, we could have been dead there. Or even maybe if one of those was a crit, who knows? Could have been very dicey. But at last, we get to the main fight here. Don't worry, we can have some bread and some ale at a little extra health. We have our powerful healing aura now. A little frost resist, a little shock resist. We already have our magic resist that we accidentally popped beforehand. Let's get it. Preemptively casting or drinking a health potion. Because once we get a lot of sunlight procs, I mean, we're going to be healing pretty easily. But before that happens, we'll try and stack up as many sources of healing, prolonged healing as possible. So we have our powerful healing aura, we have a healing potion going. Okay, not trying to overcommit too much to go for the kill on this guy. Really taking it slow. Funneling through this choke point. Killing these shades one at a time. We'll get a powerful buff here if we're successful with this fight, so want to make sure that we're taking our time, not overexposing ourselves. Here I opt for the physical damage. And I think that the Dispelled Daedra, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Dispelled Daedra enchant on the sword dispelled his bound armor. Again, not 100% sure, but I think that's what happened.
It is done. The
But yeah,
Defiler is defeated.
once we get into shade
Take
form,
the Dawnbreaker from its pedestal.
it's pretty simple. And just like that, we are now the champion of Meridia. Well, once we take the Dawnbreaker. Once we take the Dawnbreaker. Oops. Nope. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So now, I think I'll cut to it here, but we'll see. Now, whenever I'm in, now that I have it equipped, it doesn't have to be equipped, it just has to be in my inventory. Whenever I'm in combat, I get a sunlight damage aura, a cloak. Sunlight damage cloak. That stacks on top of other cloaks as well. So just some more undead killing. Here we're Forsaken Cave, doing the Curalmil quest. And just no Well, you can see the damage ticking on them from the sunlight cloak. It does a sizable amount of damage. And just pumping into more speech, more heavy armor. I got really unlucky with these mysterious chests. Normally you can get the sunlight you get the DLC spells from these, and I got I've gotten 2 of these mysterious chests so far, and both of them have been Dragonborn DLC spells instead of the Dawnbreaker or Dawn Guard DLC spells, which are Sunblast and something else. Sunburst, maybe? Sunburst and Sunblast, I think. Here we go. All of our spells are more powerful against undead and Daedra, including our sun spells. So we are really going to be doing a lot of damage with our spells now, which is kind of the in-game goal, mainly utilizing spells to do damage instead of weapons.
Come on, Beam Job. We're going.
Next little piece of armor upgrade. These 2 are very scary. They're high level. They summon other skeletons, and then we do get chipped by or hit by a frost breath. She's blocking my way, but luckily we have our heal self 3 that we were able to safely manage the damage they're doing. And then we burn the bodies. A trap? Oh, look at this. It's not a trap. So yeah, Gathric is another instance of those high-level boss Draugr, where you really just want to be taking your time, not get too greedy with your power attacks. Just a couple of swings at a time in between their power attacks. Take care of the ads first, and then fight them one-on-one. Whew, half our health from one swing. Yep, just take it low and slow. Yeah, you see where normally you'd expect to stagger when you power attack their block right there, but in this case, no. And here you just, yeah, we do so much damage. It's worth just backing up and being safe. The Cures to Vitality, little health 2, little health regen, very nice. We have so many sources of restoration cost reduction that losing out on, I guess that's 23% from the chest. It's not a huge deal. We still have the Paladin trait, as well as the Paladin gauntlets, which have cost reduction themselves. Next up on the list, Frostflow LIghthouse, to get the Sailor's Repose buff, which buffs our restoration spells. Well, the healing done by our restoration spells on us, which is quite important since that is a huge part of our build. We haven't really done much Falmer content before this. We did a launch and sell. I think that's pretty much it, right? So, well, I'll be showing this in its totality. But I'm sure you can already imagine how this is going to go. In our favor. It's going to go in our favor. That is for sure. In this greatsword, we have Sunfire spell. We can just stand next to them and heal up while our Sunfire cloak, or our Meridia's cloak, eats away at them. Like I said, we got lots and lots of options. And if we take too many poison effects, like we see here, one cast of heal self 3 will remove them all. Since this is the first Falmer dungeon, I am playing it a little safe here. And we have so much cost reduction. And spell power now with for our sun spells, that it's actually, even against non-living, even against living target, they do so much damage that it's a viable option over the Sunlight Greatsword. Just hit them a couple times and then just stand next to them. Let the cloak do the rest of the work, like we'll see here. I love the cloaks. They're so cool. I wonder if they could do like a Meridia destruction, heavy armor. Try and stack as many cloaks as possible. Are there any other blessings that give cloaks? I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's just Meridia. So you do Meridia, and you do Ebony Mail. You get the Ebony Mail. That's 2 cloaks right there. Then you do Destruction. Try and get the Chaos Cloak Master spell. Pretty much be doing all 3 of the Elemental Cloaks at once. And then you're the Cloak God. I wonder, is there any other pieces of equipment that give you cloaks? Not that I can think of, besides the Ebony Mail. There's no weapon that gives you a cloak, is there? There could be, and I just can't think of it. But then I guess what you would do is probably... You'd definitely be heavy armor, so that you could be wearing the Ebony Mail. And then, what, just have a shield? And try and be super tanky? That might be a good option for, like... But then you're just... That's a lot to sacrifice to be... Meridia is a lot to sacrifice just for a single cloak, but it is pretty good. Either that, or you could do Illusion and go the Master Illusion, which makes you invisible and intangible, and then just stand next to everyone and just cook them with your cloaks. The microwave build. That is pretty reliant on a lot of high level spells though. Got the elemental cloak. I guess you could do like a regular elemental cloak for a long period of time. So here we're utilizing our arcane ward to block the poison spit, even though it's not really that necessary, because 1, we can out heal the poison spit easily, and 2, we can dispel all the poison effects with our heal self 3, so it's really more pain than it's worth. The Sunlight Greatsword's a great option against the Chars in comparison to the regular Greats, or Tyrannus' Greatsword, because they have so much armor, so just cutting through that, doing straight match damage is preferred over having to go through their armor, their chitin. Damage resistance for physical weapons. There's the big mama over there. We've actually died to her before when doing a sunlight build, because she poisons us and lowers our poison resist so much. But we had sunlight weapon healing going, that when the fight was over and eventually our sunlight weapon healing wore off, and I didn't realize, and it just cooked me so quickly. Once the health regen wore out, that the remaining poison damage from the fight just destroyed me. Pretty sad, pretty sad. More level ups. Not sure if I get another level here or not. I do not. But I'm just going here to get the last remaining expert spells that we need. I think really it's just Funerary Rite 2, which is really nice. Gives us a bunch more magic restored, and we can target more things like skeleton corpses, spider corpses, dragon corpses. Speaking of which, we have our next dragon fight, this time unaided. But it should look the same. And now we have Arcane Disjunction 2 that we can utilize to lower the dragon's magic resist so that our sunlight weapon damage will be higher. But as long as it's on landing ever so often that I can swing at it and get some health regen, it's pretty free. Especially since we have enough movement speed after hitting it that we can very quickly just run to the side to avoid the bites, or even just run back to avoid the bites. And we can cancel our attacks with block. So yeah, pretty good damage. I don't think we would want to be tanking bites unblocked, because it did like a little bit less or more than half damage. But low and slow is the name of the game. Dragons have pretty good magic resist, which is why the sunlight spells do well against them, and why the sunlight weapons kind of struggle against them. Well, not really struggle, but just take a while. But we also have the cloak as well that's kind of eating away at them over time. But now we can see where we're kind of in a pickle. If the dragon decides to just fly around, which it does. We're going to speed up through here though, so because literally it's just me dodging fire shouts and the dragon refusing to land on the ground. We can see here I'm completely out of magicka, and as long as it's just flying around, I can't really use my spells to heal, and I can't swing and gain health regen that way, so kind of in a pickle here. Luckily we do have a nice stockpile of potions, because what inevitably happens when I'm playing builds that don't rely on potions is I still loot them, so I end up with a stockpile of potions. And I end up just kind of discarding all my strength of potion besides Remarkable, because I end up with so many. And there we do a little trick where we're at 0 magic, so we unequip our helmet, which keeps us at 0, and then we re-equip the helmet, which gives us 54, which is the magic enchantment on it. A little cheesy, yes, but it's only 54 magic that we're getting back. Just enough. Well, actually, with the amount of cost reduction we have, it's not an insignificant amount of magic back. Ooh, that does so much damage. But it's definitely enough for us to be able to cast like powerful or Funerary Rite 2 to get even more magicka back. So we're never truly out of luck as far as our magic is concerned. As long as there are corpses around, we'll be able to get our magic back. And something I realized later on, but I don't think I realized at this point, is that you can Funerary Rite 2 dragon corpses, dragon skeletons as well. It's kind of like Raised Dead 5, where it just works on everyone. Even the stuff that you wouldn't expect it to work on. Oh, I do try it here. There you go. Let's see it in action. The later on in the build, the more worried I get about doing those kind of jumps. Because I'm like, if I forget to put on my feather falling ring, then it's just over. To something stupid like fall damage. More health, more damage resist, and the casting heavy armor perk. Wonderful. Unfortunately, the added benefit to the casting heavy armor perks that they put in for this one in particular is magic regen, which is just not very helpful for me with this build, obviously. But yeah, up next we got our Dimhollow. So here's where we have to be super careful. We do not want to take any hits from these guys because they have, especially the high level vampires, they have incredibly high amount of armor pen and damage. And as a Meridia build, we really cannot be tanking any of those unblocked, and probably only a couple of them blocked. If they have like a warhammer or a mace or something, we might not even be able to take any blocked ones. But yeah, so our first vampire dungeon, so we'll see it in its entirety. Gonna opt for ranged as much as possible to just stay out of the melee range of these guys. Pelt them down with Sunfire. The reason that we want to do Dimhollow and the Dawn Guard stuff is we do want to get these higher level sun spells, damaging spells, Sunblast, Sunburst, Sunlight Cloak, and those are only obtainable through Florentius, who is a part of the Dawn Guard questline. So we want to go ahead and get this started. Take it as far as we need to unlock Florentius, and then so that way we can start buying those spells and utilizing them. Because Sunfire is nice, but being able to have the AoE is going to be even better. And Sunblast is essentially like Fire Nova or Flame Nova? Fire Nova? Fire Nova. Where it just does damage around you. And I love that spell so much. It's so good. So I'm sure Sunblast is going to be the same thing. Right up my alley. Especially if it can go through walls just like Fire Nova can. I'm sure it can. This dungeon is very generous with the amount of corpses that it has around that we can funerary rite. And yeah, funerary rite 2 is just so efficient. It's really nice. I'm really digging the aesthetics with the Gathric's armor. It's not as cool as if it was just full paladin armor. I really should download or install the Skyrim outfit system just so I can get the drip factor going. It's an important part of every build. But I do like how that looks. Skellies are no issue at all. That one just got cooked completely by our Meridia cloak. Yeah, just moving through slowly, making sure to stay at range, kite back if needed. We do have Magicka 2, which helps with reducing the amount of damage you take from absorb spells. It's been really nice. And then once we get the sunlight cloak, that'll reduce it even more. But man, That's just a lot of damage. He's got some nice stuff too. Armor I don't really care about, but the improvement to our ring is much appreciated. Oh, I'm still wearing my Firewalker necklace. So prepping for the low kill fight shouldn't be too bad because we start at a long range distance from each other, so I can really, as he's trying to close the distance to me, I should be able to get a good amount of shots off. Yeah, just so much damage. So hard to hit when they're kneeling on the ground, motionless, essentially. Wonderful. Wonderful. Another step closer to better spells. And the Templar armor. So I don't really care about anything except for the armor piece. The drip isn't as good, but it's not terrible. And it helps a bunch with our magic resist and all of our elemental resists. But yeah, that's our next episode. We got a lot of good gear. We're going to move on with more quests and other things. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.